Two questions. One is, at what stage are we with this particular bill? Because that will help to strengthen voices beyond the public participation. Having knowledge of the lawmaking process in Kenya, I don't think that anyone should be blocked out. And I think that progressive voices like the ones that she's mentioning should even be at liberty to write letters, petitions, even at this level for inclusion. But the second question is, as you address where we are, so that other voices can be able to add on, is that there is part 3 that establishes an advisory committee on AI. And there is 3F, 2 persons being 1 man and 1 woman nominated by the Council of Governors. Why specifically, why did you think that the Council of Governors is a very special pick for the committee?
You know, the role of Senate is to oversight county governments.
Yes.
It is to protect county governments and to advance operations and the interests of county government. And so if a law originates from the Senate, it is more likely and most likely that we are going to make sure that county governments benefit and are involved in what the law proposes to govern. And that's why more often than not, you're going to see provisions of any bill that comes from the Senate mentioning county governments and the COG.
Okay, well, we'll discuss that in my attempt. But at what stage are we?
Careful, there's somebody on the camera.
The bill has just been published, and it's going to the National Assembly for concurrence. Then it will come back to us, where the clerk of the Senate is going to publish and invite views in the public participation stage. At this point, it's going to be published in the dailies and on the internet, so that everybody who's a stakeholder, everybody who feels this will affect them, can bring forth their views. And I will encourage you and the people and institutions you've mentioned, bring in their input. We need it, because we want to do a comprehensive law.
Well, Wakili is saying the bill is ill-informed.
Ill-informed?
Ill-informed, yeah. Like from the saying, there are a lot of aspects that have been left out, that have not been covered. And Kevin is saying, what stage are we in? Do you feel you could withdraw it and have a revise? So that you can onboard.
Even if stakeholders come in and they're like, we do not want this bill.
Seek expert opinion so that you have aspects covered. What do you think about that?
No. There is no law at this point that can be reached. Okay? Because I've told you, we deal with the legal aspect. Okay? There is no law at the publication stage that is usually complete. It's just
it's a draft.
It's a draft, and it's a skeleton, so to speak, that needs public participation and stakeholder input. So it's not a question, there's no question of withdrawing. It's a question of the public and stakeholders enriching the bill. Because there's no way that the drafters we have in Senate and us guys as legislators, there's no way that we'll come up with a perfect bill that encompasses everything. Because even if I consulted someone when I was drafting or when I was proposing this bill, yes, I consulted people, but they practice a different kind of AI from other stakeholders, and we will need a wholesome bill after the public participation. So the question of withdrawing does not arise.
Salisa, what do you believe would be the potential of AI technology in the country today?
What would be the potential?
Or what is the potential? What can it do for Kenya across business, economy, government business?
There's a lot of opportunities in AI. There's in the education sector, right from CBC, we are seeing it being introduced in an education system. I think MKU, Mount Kenya University, in their Thika campus, have introduced a robot, that is interactive and that is taking education on another level. Instead of education being just theory, there's interactive with the robot and, taking education to another level. There is opportunities, content creators, young people. AI is bringing their craft is taking it to a different level. That you creating beautiful content because of AI, but at the same time it can be abused, and we have to regulate that. Okay, there is opportunity of being more productive, of course, because the system makes decisions sometimes even faster than humans. And in the aspect of reskilling that is also provided in the bill, in an instance where we see that AI may replace human jobs, there's a provision for reskilling. And there's also assessment of the impact in the job place. Well, how, if AI is introduced in a job place, what is the effect to human jobs? Then, in that case, it can. The law proposes that you actually create more opportunities as opposed to killing jobs, human jobs. So there's it enhances productivity. As I said, it's going to enhance the economy if channeled properly.